Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial how to make a script in OSbot. Um, First of all, um, we need some IDE to make scripts in. I've chosen for Eclipse. If you don't have Eclipse yet, I'm gonna paste some tutorial in the description of this video on how to install it. So yeah, if you don't have Eclipse yet, go to the link, install it and come back. So if you want to make a script, what do we need? First of all, we do need the library or the client of OSbot. Just let's navigate to their website, osbot.org. That's the home website. So scroll to the bottom and there is download OSbot. Just download it and you get a jar file. Just keep it, save it. I'm just not gonna download it because I already have it. So save it somewhere where you can find it. I love to save it in the map where my workspace of Eclipse is. So I'm just gonna navigate faster there. As you can see, here's my workspace of my Eclipse. So if I create a new project, which we need, I'm gonna create a new project. I'm gonna pick a Java project in the Java folder and call it woodcutter tutorial, for example. Just finish it. So as you can see, just create the map here, woodcutter tutorial. So that's actually my workspace of Eclipse. So I love to save my OSbot.jar right here, so I can use it in all my projects I need to make. So yeah, if you place it there or somewhere else, then we're gonna import it in the project we just started. So right click, go to properties of your project and go to Java build path on the left side, then to the library tab, go to add external jar file. Then search your file. If you place somewhere else, go search it, else you pick your workspace again. And okay, so as you can see, you just imported it. Or if you don't have this view, Project Explorer, just go to Window, Show View, Project Explorer right there. So then you got the same view. Okay, so now you set up the project. That's basically how it works. So how do we make it? How do we start something? First of all, you're gonna create a package. It's like a box where you put everything in. Just gonna call it woodcutter. As you can see, it's actually just a box. If you don't know what a package is, it just holds a certain amount of classes and other packages. So I'm gonna create a class which will hold code. I'm gonna call this woodcutter. Capital, just like that, and finish. So there we are, woodcutter.java. This is how we start coding. How you start creating this? First of all, you want to extend the class with script, and make sure if you imported it, it's the OSbot one, not the groovy.line, because it will fail. So yeah, this is basically how we set up the project. We're just gonna read the API to see what methods the script has. So we're gonna visit the website and going to osbot.org API, just like that. If it wants to load, yep, there we go. So basically what just extended is a script, and it has some stuff inside. So first of all, we need a script manifest. So I'm gonna run the client for a second to show you what it's needed for. Let's start another bot and press play for a second. If you go to local scripts, there will be names, the name of the script, information. That's basically what you put in the manifest, so other people can read what you want to do or how to set up your script. So that's what we're gonna do first. It's a script manifest, so we just do at the top add script manifest. If you just click somewhere else, you'll see that pops up an error because it's not imported. We're lazy, so we're just gonna do it that way. Then it's missing some attributes. There are some required, which are also in the API. Required element and description. You need an other info name and version. You will see they popped up now. Not there. Another info name and a version. I'm just gonna do version 0.1. And other, I'm Hoppy, so I'm gonna place Hoppy info. Woodcuts. No, I'm gonna put shops, willows, at trainer. As name, woodcutter. So this will show up in the the client if you play start. So what's the next thing you want to do? There's some methods. They're already set up by OSbot. We just need to put them right here. If you're going to the API again and you click on the org.osbot.script and then the script class, it shows some stuff like the methods they already made. There's some get names, get version, mouse clicks, mouse press, all mouse stuff. On exit, there's an important one. On loop, for example. So if you exit the script, this code will be executed on loop. This code inside this will be looped every single time. On paint and on message. Let's implement them now. So we have a public void on exit. And if you spell it right, you're gonna see there pops up an arrow right here. It means that the script knows what method it is and knows when to play it. So that's an on exit method. So if you stop the script, this code will be executed right there. Code to be executed at the end. Then we have another public void on start, I think it was. Yep. Code used at start. Then we have the on loop method. So we start and we exit, but we have something keep looping our code. So we're gonna do that by a public integer. Public int on loop. Why is this an int? Because it's gonna give something back like this. Return 50. Let's say there's some code in here and you want to loop it again, and it says return 50. You're just gonna return to this method and wait 50 milliseconds to loop this code again. So that's basically what it does. If you want to make some paints, you can do public void on paint, just like that. You have to put graphics G inside it and import graphics.java.abc, just like that. That's actually our basic skeleton, how it's made. So code in loop and a paint. So what we want to make, I'm trying to make a woodcutter and trainer, so I'm just gonna log in to get some information about the game and stuff. So I already walked the trainer, have eczema inventory or in my hands. So we want to chop, actually. We want to chop a tree, and if the inventory is full, we want to bank. If the inventory is not full, we want to chop a willow. That's actually the main thing. If the inventory is full, we want to the bank. If it's not full, we're gonna chop. That's what we're gonna make. So let's say if the inventory is not full, how do we do that? So we actually create an if statement. If you don't know what if statement is, go check out my other YouTube tutorials about Java basics. So if client dot get my get inventory get my inventory dot is full, and that's how you do it. Now it says if the inventory is full, just do the following code. We want to reverse that by typing this. If you don't know what this means, just check the internet. So if the client is not full, then we want the shop. We want the shop right here. So else, if it is full, we want to bank. That's basically how it works. We can make this code a bit less easier. So we're just gonna do inventory. Inven is equal to client dot get inventory. You have to import inventory. It's a class. So now we can do, instead of this, we can just do inven.isFull, because actually inven is equal to this, so that's easier to read. So the inventory is not full, we're gonna chop. So what we need first to shop? Well, we need a tree to interact with. A tree is an object, an entity. So we're gonna create an entity which search a tree and then going to interact with it, chop down. They're all willows, you can see. So first we're gonna get the entity. So we're gonna say entity willow. An entity called willow is equal to closest. Just do Control space to pop up the menu, so you can pick your method you need. Let's say I need an object right here. I don't need an NPC or a ground item. So closest object, an integer. Let's check the integers of the willows. You go to the cog symbol right there, then advanced, and go to entity debugger. If you can see now, if you hover over stuff, you get a lot of information. As you can see, the IDs of the willows are all different. You can make an array about the IDs, but RuneScape is changing their IDs pretty much lately, so I'm using names for all my scripts. So it's pretty easier because they're all the same name. So you don't have to get all IDs, just type the name. So I'm gonna create some constant. I'm calling it not public, don't need public. A final string willow name is equal to willow. If you don't know what a string is, then watch the internet. So now you're gonna go back to the closest, and you're gonna say the closest object by name. Right there, the closest object for name. So there you put our name, willow name, just like that. Just gonna make it some bigger. So now we have an entity which we have to import. Make sure you pick the right one from OSbot. So now we create an entity, which is actually an object. It's called willow, and it's going to get the closest object for the name willow name. We just specified here, it's willow. So what if we get it? We want to say shop it. So this, we can just do willow dot interact and then put in a string. So let's say we want to do it shop down. Just like it says, as you right click it, there is shop down and willow. We don't want the blue name because it's the object. We want the first name, shop down, the action. So it's gonna give an error and says you have to throw some declaration or surround to try catch. Just do add throws declaration to make your code more readable. This basically says if it fails to shop down, you're not gonna crash the whole client. You're just gonna pop up some error message at the bottom, but the client will be still running. But there's another problem. Let's say all 5 trees are chopped down, and you say empty willow is closed object for name, but there is no willow around here, so we don't have a willow actually. It's nothing. The willow name is equal to nothing. Then you're gonna say nothing.interact, which is impossible and everything will crash, so that's not what we want. You're gonna say if willow, if it is something actually, if it's not null, just like that. If it's not null, then we're gonna say chop it down, chop the tree down, not chop it down. So there's another problem. What if a tree, say this tree are down and the fourth tree out of screen now is a tree, and we get that ID, but we can't click it because it's not on the screen. So we want something to fix that. How are we gonna do that? Just gonna say if it's on the screen, click it. If it's not visible, turn the camera to it. So we're gonna say if willow dot is on screen or visible, just like that. Surround it around the willow that interact. If it's visible, chop down. Else you're gonna say client dot move camera to entity, and that's actually just the entity we just made here. So we're just gonna move the camera to the willow we just found. See? So actually what happens now, we're just gonna run it, you will see what happens. So how do you place it inside your client? Well, if you started your client once and you go to your computer and go to your C folder, a C file, then to users, then your name, there should be an OSbot folder right here. The only problem I saw is my folder isn't here, as you can see. It's an OSbot one. My folder is located somewhere else for some reason. It's in my D file under my name, and it's right here, OSbot. So I don't know why my mouse is flickering, but that's pretty annoying. Well, never mind. So there is where you save your scripts, right there. So you're just going to back to here and say right click the woodcutter tutorial, export it, go to the Java folder, jar file, next, and make sure you clicked the woodcutter tutorial, nothing else, and change the name where you want it here. Just go to browse, go to where your OSbot folder is located, go to the scripts folder and give it a name. I'm just woodcutter, I'm just gonna save that and finish it. So yeah, if we now go to the client, wait, let me put off the scene entity debugger, and we're just gonna run, it won't show up here. You just have to refresh at the bottom, and there it is, woodcutter, name woodcutter, information shops willows and trainer, just what we made at the manifest. So if you place start and none, oh, it's already chopping some trees. The only problem now is, as you can see, it keeps spam clicking the tree, and we don't want that, so I'm just gonna stop the script. And yeah, how do you fix that? If you can see, there's some option animations. If the player is chopping, the animation will be not -1. See, 8167. And if it's doing nothing, it's just -1. So how can we fix that? So we're gonna say if the animation is -1, then we want to shop, else we know we're already shopping. So we're gonna say here if player dot is player, oh, it's just the same as the other, just to client dot get my player dot is animating. So if it is doing something, the animation is not -1, we're just gonna place there, so it's not -1, so it's already animating, then shut down. Else you just wait, but we don't have to say that, it will just keep looping through the code and it won't execute anything else. So that's how we do that. So it's animating. We can make this code some easier too, just the same as above. Gonna do a player. Player is equal to client dot get my player. Just like that. So we can change that by just player now. So if the player is not animating, chop down the tree. Another problem was if you're running, it's still -1. So if you stand here and you want to shop with this tree, it's gonna keep spam clicking till the animation changes. Because if you run, it changes. So we have to fix, if the player is already running, you don't have to click a tree again. So if it is animating, or then you're gonna say if the player dot is moving. Just gonna move it every time. So if the player is not moving, then we want to shop it, else you just wait. I'm using the auto format function. It's Ctrl-Shift-F. It's right here at the source. Then to the format, it's Ctrl-Shift-F. It's a very easy function to keep your code readable. After you click shop down, you probably want some sleep, because if you click to there, if the player isn't moving right straight away, it's gonna wait something like a half a second to start running, and we don't want to spam click it like 4 times before we start running. Just gotta say sleep. Just wanna wait, and we can put one integer right there. So it's gonna wait 50 or 500 milliseconds, half a second, but it's better to make it random. We're just gonna do random, like 700 to 800 milliseconds. It's gonna create a random number between this range, and we're gonna wait this long. So I'm gonna export this and test it out. Finish, yep. So got play, don't forget to refresh every single time. And start it, none. As you can see, it clicks one, twice, wow, still good. It's not spam clicking anyway. So it clicks twice, so now if it's just gonna run away for a second, go to there. As you can see, it clicks one, and then it starts shopping. So basically, this is how you make a chopper. What will happen is when the inventory is full, it won't do anything, because we said just if the inventory is not full, we're gonna chop, else, yeah, we're not doing anything yet. So as you can see, it's just sitting there doing nothing. So how do we go to the bank? First of all, we need an area to check if you're in the bank, so we can bank. So let's make some area. An area can be made in different ways. You can just check the script API. Just go to all classes and go to the area one. You can make an area in 3 different ways. So you can just give like 2 coordinates, an array of locations or an array of positions. We're just gonna use the first one. So let's click it. It's gonna say the x coordinate of the left bottom x coordinate, the y of the left bottom, and then the right top, just like that. So make sure your north is at the top, this is your left bottom, this is your right up. So I'm gonna use the entity debugger again to get the locations. We're gonna create a new area, of course. So it's gonna say it's a final, because it's a constant, final area, the bank area is equal to, and then we want to say it's a new area, and close it. So you have to import area first. Make sure you pick the right one, not the geom one, because I saw some people on OSbot forums import the wrong one, then wondering why it's not working. So now you want to create an area. We have needed 4 integers right there. We have an x and y, and something like that. This is the left bottom and this is the right top. So let's get the X and Y from the left bottom. You can see it's right there. You want to use this and this to make a square of the bank. So this one is 3092. The Y coordinate is 3240. The other one is 3097 and 3246. So now we have an area about the bank. Let's also create some area at the willows. Just gonna copy it because I'm lazy. Just gonna call it willow area and delete this. You probably need this later on, so I'm gonna start off with the right top one. I'm just gonna pick this location, for example. This location is 3092. Right top, don't mess it up. And 3239. Yeah. Now we need a left bottom corner. That's in the C, so we can't actually see which coordinate it is. So I'm just gonna use the X coordinate and the Y coordinate separately. So this is 3081, and then I'm just gonna run to the bottom and get the Y coordinate. I'm lagging pretty hard. So let's say we want this one right there. So this one is 3223. So now we got an area. If you don't get what I just did, I just picked some coordinates in a line, not on the 1 point, because I can't reach to the C. So now we're gonna start the bank. So if the inventory is full, actually if it's not full, go to the else. If the inventory is full, we're gonna check if we're already in the bank. Because if you're not in the bank and we're standing right there, you have to walk to here first. But if we're already in the bank, we just can start banking. So let's say if an area, so it's the bank area, just control space it to get the area faster, dot contains, and we can check if there's an entity in the bank area. So we can just say player, which we created right away right here. The player is also actually it's an NPC. It's also an entity. So you can just check it right there. If the bank area contains the player, then we want a bank. Else we want to run to the location. So we can just do walk. Just control space, check all the methods you got to walk to something. I'm just gonna use walk to an area because that's the easiest for now. Just gonna say walk to the bank area, just like that. So if you're not in a bank, so if the inventory is full and we're not in a bank, walk to the bank. So else, right here. So if you're in the bank already, we need to get the bank boot. So as you can see, they're all the same IDs and there's already the same name. So I'm not gonna pick a name for now to get the entity, but I'm gonna use the ID for this one because you don't have an option to bank right there. I'm sure there are some methods to fix that, but I'm using the ID of this bank boot right now, which is 23961. Just gonna create an integer right there. Final integer bank boot idea is equal to, can't remember that so fast, 23961. I think it was 23961. Yeah, that's right. So now we have our integer. So you're gonna get that one. We're gonna do just same entity bank boot is equal to closest object. For now, we're just gonna pick this one, closest object, and we're gonna give an integer, and we're just gonna do bank. Make sure you spell it right. Bank boot idea, just like that. And you're just gonna say the done if the bank boot, if we found the bank boot, so it's not null, and if bank boot dot is on screen or dot is visible, then we want to say bank boot dot interact, and if you right click, it's want to say bank, so you want to interact with action bank. First, make some sleep time after you click on something to make it more smooth. Just like that. But there's another problem. What if you run to the bank and let's say the bank is already open and you're just gonna run this code by accident? It's gonna, if you can see, I get the models through the bank, through the interface. So it's trying to right click this place and bank with it, but it's not possible, so this code won't be executed and will fail. So actually we have to check first if bank, we have to do client dot get bank dot is open, just like that. If the bank is already open, we're just gonna bank, else we're trying to open it, so else you just place it right there, auto format it. So if the bank is already open, we're gonna bank, else you're trying to open the bank. So that's to make it more flawless and not executing code in a straight line, so it will probably sometimes fail, and that's not very good. Time loss, XP loss, money loss. So if the bank's already open, we want to deposit the items. First of all, I'm gonna create something easier about this, client.getBank, and you can do the same as that. Bank is equal to client.getBank. See? Oh, it's equal, sorry. And import the bank class. Make sure it's OSbot one. So we're gonna do bank.isOpen. If the bank is open, so if it can see this interface, we're just gonna do bank.deposit, and just gonna do deposit all. So it's just gonna deposit every item inside the inventory, just like that. So basically, if you run this now, if the inventory is full, we're gonna check if we're in the bank. Then we do the following: if not, walk to the bank. So if we're in the bank, we're gonna get the bank boot object. Then if the bank is already open, then we wanna just deposit. If it's not open, we're just gonna try to open the bank. So if it's visible, we're just gonna turn the camera, else client.move camera to entity bank boot. Don't forget that. So yeah, then it's going to bank. So if it's not open, it's just gonna open and finish this code. Then going back in the loop, starting over, it's gonna say the inventory is still full, and inventory is still full. So it's just gonna come here. We're in the bank, yes. Oh, is the bank already popped up? No. Then click the bank boot again. So it's gonna keep repeating opening the bank if the bank boot is not open and we're in this area. So then it's going to deposit if it's open, and yeah, then we're done actually, because then it's going to say the inventory is not full. We're trying to get a willow object, but we have another problem then. Sometimes if you're too far away from something, you can't get the object. So it is the best to run back to this. So it's gonna check first if you're in the willow area. So you're gonna check if willow area, the one we just created, dot contains the player. Just gonna put it all over this one. Oh, I messed this up. I'm just gonna place it right there. Of course I logged out. Well, I just lagged out. So yeah, if you're in the area, you're just gonna chop it, and else you're just gonna say walk to the area, just the same as, come on, as the bank. Walk to willow area, just like that. So we're gonna save that. And normally, if you run this would work if I can log in and not saying I was already logged in, because I just got deceived in right 5 seconds. So I'm gonna run through the trees manually for a second. Put out anti-debugger animations. I'm gonna export this one, export it, next, and finish it. Yes. I'm gonna play, refresh, make sure it's loaded again. You can see that at the bottom if it's loaded, and press start. And I'm not picking any account, so we start shopping because inventory is not full. And let's see what it does when it is full. So we're waiting for the last log. Oh, it checks. Oh, we're full. We walk to the area. Click in the area. Oh, we're in the area, and it's gonna click on the bank. See, the bank bit is open. It's gonna click back. And if we deposited all, we're just gonna run straight back to the willows. And if we're at the willows, we're gonna create a new object willow, and there we go. So actually, this is our basic how to make it. So I'm not gonna cover making a paint in this one. Maybe I will make a second tutorial how to improve this or make a paint for this, which logs per hour, logs chopped, XP get. So yeah, this is basically how you make a basic script. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and leave some comments in my topic or in this video description. Not the description, the section below. So if you have problems or questions, just let me know, and see you later.